Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today we have come up with another good question. So let me give you a sample input and an output first. And now let's talk about it. The question is removing islands. So the definition of an island is a one that is not connected. The ones are the lands and zeros are the water. Consider it in that way. And all the ones that are not directly connected to another one that is at an edge. Okay, all the ones at the edge or the corners are um, are not an island, and all the ones connected to them, either horizontally or vertically, are also not an islands. For example, let us talk about this one. So this is connected to this one, then this is connected to this, then this is connected to this. So indirectly, it is connected. So we don't have to consider the diagonal cases like these two are not connected to each other. But if we put a one here, then these two no more remain an island. So now these two are islands because these two are not connected to any other one that is further connected to an edge one. So for example, this one is connected to an edge, so we can say that these two are not an island. And now this one is easy to find out that it has no other neighboring one, and also it is not at the edge, so definitely it is an island. And these two are also an island. So so we have to remove these two and this, because these three ones are an island. So you can pause the video and try it out yourself. Yeah. So first of all, people, you might think that let us first find out the islands. What we can do is we can find out all the ones that are not in the edge. Then we can find out their adjacent ones, and then to their adjacent ones we'll find the adjacent ones further, and so on. And this might become very complicated. So we can just think the other way around. The other way around, the method we can use, the other way around is we can begin with all the ones at the edges, or the corner ones are useless because they are connected to the edges only, and we don't need any information related to the edges. And diagonally they are not connected, so diagonally there is no connection, only vertically or horizontally there is a connection. So what we can do is we can begin with the edges, and we can find their adjacent ones, and to those adjacent ones we can find out their adjacent ones, and so on. We can repeat the process again and again, and unless we cover all the ones. And now, in order to change their identity a bit so that we can differentiate between them, what we can do is we can just instead of naming them to one, we can just rename them to two, and the rest over ones would be the islands because they are not connected. So we are just thinking completely opposite to the to what we have to find out. Like we are not we are finding the non islands, and then we are differentiating between them. So sometimes this also becomes easier for us to understand things. So we should think the other way around as well while solving problems. So okay, so here the dimensions are same, like the x and y dimensions are same, but this is not always the case. So let us make two variables telling the dimensions. So a represents the width and b represents the height. So this might get complicated very quickly. So let us make comments as much as we can so that we can understand better. And yeah, so we will first begin with the edges, and what we will do is we will check for the adjacent ones to the edges. So edges, the edges are the first row, the last row, the first column, and the last column. So all these are edges, and to all the ones at the edges, for example, let us first consider the first row. So as I have already told that the corners are not very important, so we will handle them later. And now I am handling only from 1 to a minus 1, which means that only these four I am taking care. And this is an unfortunate case that there is no one here. Suppose there is a one here, then we will find the connected ones to this one, and so on. So now in order to find those connected ones. Okay, so let me clear one more thing, that we are talking about the first row. So for the first row only we have to check for the bottom part, like we just have to check for the ones below it and not towards its left or right or and above, because above there is no one, and also towards its left or right we know that if there is a one then it will all obviously be a non-island, as we have already told. And for the right column we can check for ones towards their left, and for the left column we can check for ones towards their right, and for the last row we can check for the ones towards their above them. So now let's as I have already told that, okay, first let's loop. Okay, there is one more thing we have to keep in mind, that while giving in the indices to some values, for example indices, then the input format of the indices should always be in the format y and x. The y should come first and then the x should come. This is the major confusion that people go through while handling two-dimensional lists. We have to input the y value first and then the x value. So for the first row the y value would be 0, so y value is 0, and then we will input the x value. So if we see a 1 here, then we should check the adjacent one. So let us make a function for that, because we need to check for adjacent ones many times. So this function will take two inputs, and L will represent, for example, 0, 1, 1, 0, minus 1, 0, and these are all the ways in order to check the adjacent ones. This is for this is for checking downwards in downwards direction, this is for checking in the right direction, this is for checking in the left direction, and this is for upward direction. So we will just add L to the indices and check if there is a 1 there. Then we can call the same function for that indices as well. So this is in the format x comma y. Because it is important, we are providing the inputs in the format x comma y, but while putting in the indices we will have to put y first and then x. So let us clear everything in the beginning only. And indices will also take x comma y of the original one. So what we will do is, if we see that if at that index, now I have already told that we will put in the y value first, and the second value, the second part of the indices. Okay, let me give you an example of the input. Now we are talking about the first row, so we have to check for the ones below them. So it means that y value would be 1 and x value would be 0 for L. L would also be a two-dimensional list, and we have to check for downwards direction. So x comma y, x is 0 and y is 1, which means that we are going downwards. And the input format would be I comma 0. I is the x-axis, as while providing the indices we provide y first and then the x, but while giving in the inputs we are providing x value first and then the y value. So now let's begin with writing the function. This is the main function that we have to make. Rest all is just application of the function. So if we find a 1 at this location, we can just rename it to 2. I have already told that about our strategy, that we will rename all the non-islands to 2, and all the remaining ones would be the islands, and then we can differentiate between them. And if it is not a 1, then we can just end the function. We don't need the function, because we don't care about zeros, we just care about the ones. And if now we will loop through our L variable and add that L variable to the values of x and y of indices input. So our Q will represent the x-axis. Our Q will represent the x-axis, and we will make another variable, let us name it P, and our P will represent the y-axis. So first value would be x, so we can write I 0, okay, ind 0 plus I 0, and our y would be ind 1 plus I 1. And now, okay, so now since we are changing the indices, for example, we after looping through everything, like we begin from here, and now let us say we have a 1 here and 1 here as well. So now we begin from here, then we see a 1 here, then here, we go through it, go through it, and then we now have to go down in downward direction again, but there is no 1 here, so the system might show an exception. So in order to just pass through that exception, not show on the screen, we will have to use the try and except conditions. And now we will try if we find that x y value first and then the x value is equal to 1, then we will apply the same function for it. And now comes a bit tricky part. Okay, so let us first begin with the easy thing that normally we would do. We will check for the adjacent ones for it as well, and we will provide its indices. The x value should come first, which means that q should come first, and then y should come, which means p. And now let us think about it. We are okay, let us keep it original only. Yeah, so let us think about it. We begin with here, and then we reach here, and then we are checking for all the 4 directions for this as well. Then we are going back to this and this. So we are just repeating the process again and again, and we are creating confusions. We are increasing the time, the work for the system, and we don't want that. So this will show the output, but it will show the output a few milliseconds late, and we don't want that. We want the output to come very quickly. So we will have to add a condition. If you are not able to understand, then it is completely fine, and it will work this way as well. The problem is that it would just become a bit slow, and there wouldn't be a big gap between the times taken by both the cases. But since we want the most efficient thing we can imagine about, we will make it this way only. So we went from right to left. Now we don't want it to go again from left to right. So what exactly is, we are just opposing the directions. So for example, our direction is p comma q. So the opposite to p comma q would be minus p comma minus q, and we don't want minus p comma minus q to be there. So it will not be minus p comma minus q. I just gave an example, and let us take for example h comma I is also there. C comma D. Okay, C comma D. So our direction is C comma D. So the opposite direction to it, like C comma D makes us reach here, from here to here. So minus C comma D, minus C comma minus D would again teleport us to here. So we can see that we are just opposing the direction, so we will just add an inverse to it. So if I, okay, let us not take this as I, let us take it j, because we have already defined I here, and this can create a huge confusion for us. So if j is not equal to the opposite direction of our I, this has become a bit complicated, but this looks correct, I think. Let me confirm it. Yeah, this looks correct. Oh wait, I've added an extra bracket here. Yeah, now it looks correct. Yeah, so we are just, for example, our I0 and I1 are 0 comma 1, as we have given the input here. So we just have to check that if our I is 0 comma 1, then we shouldn't go 0 comma minus 1, because by going 0 comma 1, for example, for the first row now, so let us make 1 here. Now we don't now through 0 comma 1 we have reached here. Now we don't want to go back here by using minus 1 comma 0, sorry, 0 comma minus 1. So we will have to add this in order to reduce the process, reduce the time taken by the system to show the output. But it is not important actually. It is just to reduce the time taken by the system. If you don't want to add it, there is no issue. Now we will check for the last row, because the length of the last row will also be the same as the length of the first row. Let us rename it to 0. So for the last row, our value of height would be b minus 1, because our counting starts from 0, but our b represents the length, and length minus 1 will take us to the last sublist, or what we say, a single dimensional last list, by putting b minus 1 comma I. And if we see a 1 here as well, then we can check for its adjacent in the upward direction. So for the upward direction it would be 0 comma minus 1. And now we will give in the x value first. X value is I, and then we will give the y value. Yeah. And now we have checked for the rows. Now we will check for the columns. So the loop for the columns will also be similar. Even though the code is quite lengthy, but the code output will be quite fast. So we cannot judge a code by just its length. It can be there can be a possibility that the code is long, but the output is very fast. So yeah. So now we will go through the columns. Now we are checking for the first till the second last. Sorry, second to the second last. I have already told that it shouldn't be the case that we are checking for the corners, because corners are useless in this problem. And now we will go from left to right for the first column. 0 comma, it should be I comma 0, I think. Yeah, it should be I comma 0. We will provide the y value first, and our x value is 0 for the first column. And now for this we will provide the x value first and then the y value. And similarly for this one, we will provide the y value first and then the x value. Our x value would be a minus 1 now, because we are talking about the widths. So the last column will have the left as a minus 1, because 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and our length of x0 is 6. So we will have to do a minus 1 and not simply a, because we otherwise we will just go outside the list and it will show an error. And similarly for here, we will provide the y value first and then the x value first and then the y value. And now let's handle the corners. So in order to handle the corners, we just have to convert all the corners, all the corner ones to 2. And okay, so since we are going to remove all the ones, so we can just add 1 to all the corners. For example, our corner is 0, then we can just rename it to 1, and it is 1, so we can rename it to 2. This will become 2 and this will become 2. Now since this is a 1 and we are already going to remove all the ones, the islands, because all the islands will remain 1 only. So we are going to remove all the islands. We are, instead of 1, we will rename them to 0. So this will also be inside them and we can remove that. But since we don't want to make things very confusing afterwards, so we can use a longer method, that L is equal to x0. Now we are just handling the corners. Y value first. Yeah, y value first and then the x value. Then okay, there is no I here. We will have to write 0 and 0 comma a minus 1, 0 a minus 1, and then we will write b minus 1 a minus 1, as b represents the height. And now what we can simply do is we can add all 1 to all the values inside it, and then we can put it in that way, but since we don't want to make the things complicated, even though that way is shorter, that adding 1 to all the corners will do the job, but since we don't want to make the things complicated, we can just make a quick loop for it. For I in range length of L. Okay, I'll show you by adding 1 also. The output will remain same, and also there can be a possibility that we are saving some milliseconds by using that shortcut. And if Li is equal to 1, then we just have to rename it to 2, and if it is 0, then we don't care, and then we can just copy the whole thing, copy all the corners and put their value in L. So we have changed all the values of the corners, and now we can print our output for I in X. Print. Okay, so now instead of 2 we will replace 1. So J for J in I, and now if our J is 2, so we will give 0, 1 if J is equal to 2, else 0. If J is equal to 1 or 0, we will just return 0 in such a case. So this should show the output. Let us run the code. Okay, so this is not considering this part, so we might have made a small mistake. Let us see. Oh wait, yeah. So we forgot to change this value. This should be -1, 0. The x value should come first. We are talking about the columns. So for the last column, we have seen that we saw that this one shouldn't have been removed. I mean, this one shouldn't have been removed. This shouldn't have been removed. Not even this, and not even this shouldn't have been removed. Only this, and this. These three should have been removed. So these three have been removed, but we are facing some problem in the last row, so we will check for the last row. This is for the last column, sorry. So this is for the last column, and we have seen a bug that instead of x comma y, we had written y comma x as the input. So now it should show the correct output, and yeah, it is showing the correct output. It is checking for all the adjacent ones. Now let me show you what I was talking about. What we could have done is, instead of this part, okay, Control Z, and we can just copy it. Yeah, and now we can delete the loop, and we can just write it in a single line. I for I in this whole list, and we can directly now, sorry, I plus 1, it should be I plus 1, and now we don't need an extra variable for it. We can just add a backspace to it. You can copy it, is equal to paste. Now it should show the same output. Okay, let us remove this line, and it should show the same output. What we are doing is, we are just renaming all the corners to their adjacent. We are just adding 1 to all the corners, so it should show the same output, because we are handling 1 also. We are instead of 1, we are writing 0 only, so it should show the same output. And yeah, it is showing. Wait, it was not showing before that. So before that, let us see. Okay, this line is correct, so we can just comment it out, or we can copy it, Control, and we can just and we can do this also. And now let us check what kind of mistake we are doing is, okay, instead of is equal to 2, we will only write li is equal to 2, because this is just a statement, this is a statement, this is true, and not, this is actually, sorry, this is actually false. So we are not changing or assigning any value, we are just providing a statement. We don't want to provide a statement, we want to change the value. So now it should show the same output, but let us make the code more efficient, and we can use this line alone, and this line alone will handle everything, and it will show the same output. Yeah. So now let us check that our program doesn't get confused when we add another line. And now the dimensions of A and B would not be same. It will not be a 6 by 6 anymore, it would be a 6 by 7 grid. So now let us add a 1 here, a 1 here, then a 0, a 0, a 0, and a 1 or a 0. And now this shouldn't make another island, and yeah, it is giving the last line as it is. And now if we want this island to not be anymore, so we can just connect it to another one. For example, we can connect it to this one, and now this is not an island anymore, because it is connected to this hole is connected to this one, this alone one. Since this is connected, so now this is not an island anymore. But if we remove this and we will replace it to 0, then it becomes island again, and it will remove that. So we can also do one more thing. Instead of attaching it to this one, we can attach it to all the way here. Now we are going here, then we are going upwards, and then we are going towards the right. And this should also now show, and yeah, it is not an island anymore, because this one, all these ones are connected to a single one at the edge. And now let us remove it. Now let us add another row, and now let us make this whole thing an island. And let us not make this an island. Yeah, so this T kind of a shape is now an island, but this whole thing is not an island anymore, and it should remove the T. We are able to see that, and yeah, it removed that T because it has become an island. And these 3 blocks are now connected to this one, so we are able to see them. And yeah, so thank you guys. Please, if you have any suggestions, then please feel free to write down in the comment section, and follow me on SoloLearn. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate your support. Thank you guys.